And I am back. Domino's here. She's coming in and out, but she gets lonely and she hears me talking to her. She's like, "You're out here, but you're not in there. You should be paying attention to me." But no. So this is something. I said I was kind of done with the Kaladesh stuff, but then I realized, no, I can still do some Kaladesh stuff for Magic. And one of the things I felt I could talk about is, what do I think are the best cards that came out of Kaladesh? Personally, me. Now, obviously, that means this is my opinion based on the guy who plays casual formats, plays the sealed, plays the pre-releases, just builds decks out of everything, even a little commander now and then. This is just my opinion on that. But that said, what do I consider to be the best cards? So I had to consider. I had to consider how I was going to basically say what are the best cards, and there's more than one card in each. There's more than one card in a couple categories. But, you know, I basically decided to break it up between all the card types. Enchantments, sorcerers, instances, lands, planeswalkers, creatures. Artifacts was a little different. I actually branched up between the artifact, actually different types. Normal artifacts, artifact creatures, and vehicles and equipments. So I branched out there. But so without further ado, and I'm not going to have visual aids. I'm just don't want to bother getting my phone up for that. Well, no, I'm not going to do that because I think at this point you know what it is. I'll give a description of the card. So anyway, further ado, well, I'm just going to start from bottom to top to bottom, and from top to bottom, let's start with enchantments. Now, enchantments, there's auras, there's all those things, but really the only really solid enchantment that I saw, I mean, that I would consider the best among the best, not fitting in a certain card archetype, was Authority of the Council, which is 1 white for an enchantment. Opponent's creatures come out tapped, and you get a life for each creature your opponent ever plays. So, why it's so versatile? One, it gives you a stall tactic. You could have multiples out in the field of these. Gain like 4. If you had 4, you could gain 4 life for each creature your opponent plays. Their creatures come out tapped. So right there, you're tapping down your opponent. You're already giving them a disadvantage. You're getting life from it. But the real important thing about this card that I think honestly makes it the best, it's literally, you can play it turn. There's not many 1-drop creatures in this set. But you can play this on turn 1. Then play on turn 2, you can play any sort of 2-drop creature. You're already ahead. Especially if you're going first, you are already ahead of your opponent doing that. That's honestly what I think makes it the best enchantment. Is the fact that it's a 1-drop. It is a 1-drop you can play on turn 1. It is relevant on turn 1. So right there, it's a win for me. It's a win in general for me on that. And that's why I consider that to be the best. Sorcery. This came out to be a tie. One, we got the white card Refurbish. And Fumigate, I believe, was one of them I would have considered. It's a sweeper, but it's a standard sweeper. I wouldn't call it the best. Refurbish is, there's 3 white, 3 generic, 1 white. Basically, return an artifact you control from the grave to the battlefield. Not your hand, the battlefield. It's very rare to find actual graveyard to battlefield recursion anymore, just because it's so powerful, and the fact you just bring something straight to the battlefield back from the grave. And with the amount of heavy-duty artifact creatures, you never have to actually play the artifact creature. You can discard the card, then refurbish and bring it back out. Especially with Madness still in rotation, things along those lines, because of Shadows of Innistrad and Eldritch Moon, you can easily just say discard. And there's cards in this set that make you discard as well. So you can just discard a Gear Hulk, play refurbish, bring back the Gear Hulk. Or you brought out the Gear Hulk died, bring back the Gear Hulk again. It should not be underestimated how powerful that effect is. However, I tied it with Nature's Way, which is 1 green, 1 of any color sorcery. Target creature gets vigilance and trample. You then fight target creature, you deal damage to target creature your opponent controls based on the power of the creature you gave the trample and a vigilance to. This is not fight. Fight is about a powerful ability, but you both took damage from that. This is simply, hey, I'm going to deal damage to you. Did I destroy you? Alright. Oh wait, you still got a small fry? Don't worry, my 5/5 now has vigilance and trample, so it won't tap, and I'll still get through the damage. I can put it as one of the best because it's removal. It's damage inducing, and it's green, and green doesn't get a lot of just standard removal. I mean, we had there's takedown in here, which deals damage to flying creatures, but it's simply flying creatures. It's not It's not any other creature. It just deals damage to any creature you have. The only issue I have against it really is that vehicles are immune to it. That's really the only issue you got with it, is that vehicles are immune, unless you're able to get them to create a vehicle on your turn. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. With instances, this was a 3-way tie pretty much, and all of them are basically uncommon cards. Essence Extraction is 2 black, 1 of any color for an instant. Deal 3 damage, gain 3 life. It's a solo removal spell, and you get something back for it. If it were just 3 damage, it'd still be good on its own and at an instant. But it's 3 damage, gain 3 life. That's relevant. It's very solid. I think we only got 1 or 2 rare instances anyway, and none of them were I consider to be very good. We have Skywheel Shot. Again, another removal. Deal damage to target creature with, I believe, 3 power or greater, and then you scry 1. Instant, 3 mana, 1 white, solo removal, and scry is very relevant, especially in late game or even early game. And then Harness Lightning. In the deck, one second. In the energy decks that you use it in, it is one of the most powerful cards in this set, period. And just using it in general, you can still do 3 damage for 2 mana. But obviously you're going to be running this in an energy-based deck, or at least a deck that's going to utilize at least some energy cards. So this is a card usually going to do at least 3 damage. Or you can just have it do 1, keep some energy, 2, because of its versatility and amount of power it can actually have. Excuse me. It is probably among the strongest instances in the set. Land, there really wasn't much options for land. I would say the fast lands are among the best. Yeah, that's basically it. I'd also put Aether Hub there, because in the deck you're going to run Aether Hub in, it's a bomb card, really. It is. But it's alright. Planeswalkers. Now, Planeswalkers I actually put as a tie. You may think, wow, Chandra's the best Planeswalker in the set. And Chandra more or less is among the best Planeswalkers. Dovin Bond is good, he's fine, but he's not like the best. You have to look at the relevance of the abilities on the cards themselves. Dovin Bond's okay, and Shaliara's okay in the decks that they fit in. Problem is they're 2-color cards, so you need to be running at least 2 colors, unless you're splashing cards that make extra mana. But you're normally going to run 2 colors. With Chandra and Nissa, however, first off, you only need 1 color. Chandra is the easiest of them to get out with just 2 red. You can just put her in a mono red deck. Has among the most relevant abilities. Problem is she doesn't protect herself really at all. I mean, you can give herself mana and you could play a creature, but honestly she does not protect herself at all. And I can attest to this because I played against her several times in the pre-release and I killed her every time because she is immediately a target. And if you don't have anything to protect your target, the target is going to be hit very fast, very hard, very often. But her abilities are still hacks beyond belief. She's near a hacks Planeswalker. Nissa's different. Now, when I did my videos talking about Nissa, I actually said that someone said this Nissa kind of sucks. And I looked at it and I didn't respond to the video because whatever, it's their opinion. It's fine. I looked at this and I'm like, no, this Nissa is actually kind of haxed, especially when you do something like Oath of, I think it's Gideon, which can actually give you loyalty upon bringing it out. That is a Planeswalker that you use its ultimate the minute you bring it out, which says you draw a card every time you play a land. Landfall draw is nothing to sniff at. Especially in a deck where you're obviously going to get her out. You're probably going to mono ramp her out, probably more like turn 4 or 5 than turn 3 or 4, because she's 5 mana. But she has 5 loyalty. She immediately protects herself. Immediately. And she can also bring stuff back from the grave, and then her ultimate. Because of how quickly you can get off, it's one of the few times that a Planeswalker's ultimate for a Planeswalker, if you can get it, great. If not, it's usually irrelevant. Most people play the first 2, 3 if you got 4 abilities, abilities on a Planeswalker normally. With Chandra, her ultimate is literally only 1 loyalty away. So your goal usually is going to be the ultimate. I mean, her second ability is fine. I think it's recursion again. But her first one ability is a +1 that protects her because it creates a creature, a land creature. As long as they don't have a flyer, they're fine. So in terms of raw power, yeah, Chandra's the best, stronger card, absolutely. In terms of accessibility and how easily she is to get her big abilities off, Nissa's actually easier to play because all you gotta do is wait a turn and you're good. Whereas Chandra's going to be a bigger target. Nissa's probably going to be a big target too, but Nissa is actually able to protect herself until your next turn. That's the thing. The creature lasts till the beginning of your next turn. So it's very difficult to really say which one is the stronger one. If I were to really put money on it, I'd lean towards Chandra, but I would not discount Nissa at all. Nissa is actually very playable. So that's the Planeswalkers. Moving on to creatures. Now with creatures, I almost did one out of every color, but I did not. So Aerial Responder, the Dwarf Artificer, it's basically the white Nighthawk. 2 white, 1 of any color, flying, vigilance, lifelink, 2/3. That is one of the best creatures in the set before. It's easy to play, 3 mana. It's relevant. It has relevant ability. Death Touch is more relevant. Vigilance is more relevant to Death Touch. Death Touch can kill something, so you can block for a while if you want, or keep opponents at bay. Vigilance means you can swing and still keep opponents at bay and still have lifelink. That thing it's fantastic. Demon of Dark Schemes is the black demon, mythic rare. 3 black, 3 of any color. It's a 5/5 flyer. 2 wipe the board, 2 damage across the board. Anytime a creature goes to the grave, get an energy. Then you tap it, and I believe pay 2 energy to retrieve a creature from any graveyard and put it on your battlefield. Is it big? Yes. Is it a bomb? Is it bomby and splashy? Yes. You're going to basically need to be in black at least as a standard color? Absolutely. That said, it is still one of the most effective, because it immediately has effect on the board. You're immediately going to wipe the board, or at the very least, you're going to deal a lot of damage across the board and then just mess up their strategy. Either way, if you're in an energy deck, which I would assume you would be with this card, or if you're just in a black deck and you wipe out like a bunch of tokens like servos and thropters, and then just boom, you got like 5 energy all of a sudden, you can bring back a couple creatures. This card is fantastic. In blue, it was Servant of the Consulate? You know what? I'm actually going to check which card that was. I think I know which one it was, but oh no, sorry, that's the green. It's a green. Sorry. Servant of the Conduit is the 2-drop 2/2 elf that gives you 2 energy when it comes out, and you can tap pay an energy, and get any mana color you want out of the mana you get. Yeah, that's probably the best mana ramper in the set, because you can get any mana you want, any mana color. You can splash into anything so long as you're using green, and it's completely irrelevant. And even if you run out of energy at some point, you still have a 2/2 you can use. Domino, seriously. Domino. And there's Domino again. Domino, you hear me talking, you're like, no, I want to be with Uncle Blimp, or Uncle Blimp needs to be with me. That's right. You're supposed to pay attention to me. You're going to give me the grouse. Last one I'm going to talk about for best creature is Rashim. I can't remember her full name, but Rashmi, the green-blue legendary elf that has essentially got pseudo cascade. The first spell you play, you're cascading. Every turn, you're cascading. That's basically it. That is ridiculous. That is effing ridiculous. There is no joke that this thing is completely and utterly hacked, especially if you're using it as a commander or something like that in formats with big creatures. Even if you're using 4 drops, if you got a lot of like small drops in the set or your deck, then yeah, this card is going to. And I scratch your butt. This card is going to just ramp something unbelievable. It's a ramp card that has not been seen in a while. It kind of reminds me of a Maelstrom Elemental, but not quite. Domino, come here. If you want to be outside with me, you can be outside with me. Otherwise, you need to chill. I'm not going inside with you. Anyway, yeah. So then we have artifacts. The only real artifact that I would say is the best in the set is probably Aetherworks Marvel. Because it gives you energy, so therefore its energy cost is relevant to pay eventually. In an energy deck, it's amazing because I believe, if memory serves, and this now I need to actually double check on it. And, you know, maybe I should have at least had the site up, but sometimes it makes my my thing lag. Domino, I'm not going inside with you. You need to chill out. It's like, why aren't you going inside with me? You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be my friend and do stuff with me. It's like, I am your friend and do stuff with you, but, you know, not all the time. So, you need to chill, because I got to do stuff. Anyway. So, yeah, if I remember correctly, you pay 6 or 8 energy. I think it's 6, but we'll just get the artifacts up here on this page. Let's see now. Artifacts. Not Aether Storm Rock. Yeah, so annoying. So annoying. Anyway, there we go. Alright, and there we go. So, artifacts. There we go. Aether Works Marvel. Yeah, you pay 6 energy anytime your permanent goes to the grave. So it's permanent also, not creature. You get an energy. You pay 6 energy and tap it. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast a card from it without paying its mana cost, but the rest at the bottom of any order. So it's essentially Super Scry with the ability to play the creature. And like wouldn't you know it? The computer starts to lag the moment I bring the site up. How about that? But no, I consider that probably the strongest artifact in the set. Artifact, mind you, not artifact creature or anything. Artifact creature-wise, it's a tie between Filigree, a familiar, which is the fox. It's easy to play. You get life, and you draw a card when it dies. And it's a 2/2 for 3. It's relevant. It's It's one of the best creatures in the set. Creature cards, anyway. And then in terms of, I had to put one of the Gear Hulks on here, too, for the cycle. I would say that among the Gear Hulks, the Noxious Gear Hulk is the best. Followed closely by, I'd say, the green one, the one that makes things bigger. But Noxious, I'd say, is the best because it's removal and you gain life. That's the important thing. You can remove their biggest thing on the field because there's almost no hexproof in the set. And you can remove their biggest thing. Hell, they got a Noxious Gear Hulk. You can play your Noxious Gear Hulk, remove theirs. You get 6 life. I'm pretty sure it's 6 life. And you remove their creatures. So it's... And using things with Refurbish, you can recursion that and therefore gain more life and destroy more stuff. So I think it's the best of the Gear Hulk cycle, pretty bar none. Though I'd say the green, they're all good in their own right, though. That's the thing. They're all good. I think the blue one, honestly, is the weakest, though, but that's my opinion. Then we have the vehicles. Now, between the vehicles, it was a tie. We have Sky Skipped. It's a very basic one. 2 mana. You can crew it for 1. It's a 2/3 flyer. Very basic, but very awesome. It's one of the staple bread and butter vehicles. We have the... What was it now? Sky Sovereign. It goes without saying. It immediately affects the field when it comes out, and then you crew it in terms of the 6 flyer that keeps picking stuff for 3 damage. It's among the most powerful things in this vehicles in the set. Though, Flint Wheel Cruiser, I believe it is, the 5/3, which starts off as an artifact creature when it comes in the field and has haste, that is a very... that is among probably the strongest of the vehicles, simply because it immediately is relevant. It immediately is a creature. It immediately can attack with it and then crew it for a different point in time. Last one I will talk about is the... Well... Quick note, on artifact and equipments, there was only 2 in the set, and both were commons, so neither were very strong, though, so I'd put the Inventor Goggles as the best artifact equipment. But the last vehicle to touch on is, I can't remember exactly the name of it, but essentially it's the Mana Dork. It's the Mana Stone. What is it? It's 3, which if you crew it for 3, it turns into a 5/5, but it taps for any mana. It's essentially a Mana Stone, so... I'd arguably say that is the strongest vehicle in the set because it has relevance beyond being a vehicle. So, I mean, Sky Sovereign obviously has relevance beyond that too, but it's also more expensive to play. So, I would put that arguably as the strongest of the vehicles in terms of overall playability, how I view it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the best cards in Kaladesh. Join me again for Best Cards series, where I talk about the best cards in Aether Revolt, or Aether Revolts, or Aether Revolution. I think it's Revolts. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you in a little bit. Later.